Hello my friends, and today the number of Russian offensive actions remains unabated. And let's start right away with the Kupiansk direction. Here, the occupiers haven't achieved any success in the areas of Petropavlivka and Tabaivka. So today the attacks have ceased and only shelling is being recorded. So the front line remains unchanged within a day. But due to the danger of Kupiansk being captured by the Russians and their further advance towards Kharkiv, Zelensky said that it's not advisable to return to the city for now.
Відповів
про ймовірність наступу на Харків з будь-якого напрямку. Що робити харків'янам залишитися?
щодо повернення харків'ян, ви сказали. Ну, розумієте, я не вважаю, що поки що Харків так захищений, щоб я мог радити людям повертатися. Це вибір харків'ян. На сьогодні це так. Якщо ми будемо потужно захищені, а я би навіть не так сказав, не якщо, а коли це станеться, обов'язково будуть сигнали від мене і від наших військових передусім. А на сьогодні воюємо, і ті цілі і задачі, які я вже вам сказав, ми будемо виконувати.
In the Svatove direction, no Russian activity is being recorded, and the front line remains unchanged as before. In the Crimea direction, the Ukrainian forces have successfully repelled all Russian attacks near Yampolivka. Now, only shelling is being reported there, while fighting continues in the area of the village of Terne. The occupiers still cannot dislodge the Ukrainian forces across the river, despite the lack of ammunition on the Ukrainian side to destroy the Russians. In turn, the Russians have no problems with ammunition, and shelling from their side continues. However, within a day, the front line remains unchanged, and the Ukrainian forces continue to repel Russian attacks. In the Siversk direction, the occupiers continue their attempts to break through to Bilohorivka and have launched attacks on the village of Rozdolivka. Shelling of Ukrainian positions in the populated area is also ongoing, so we are waiting to see how the new attacks will end. But within a day, there have been no changes along the front line, and the Ukrainian forces continue to repel Russian attacks. In the Bakhmut direction, the occupiers have resumed their assault on Bilohorivka. Despite their advancement on the outskirts of Ivanivsk, they still cannot fully capture the village and break through to Chasiv Yar. However, despite this, the Ukrainian forces report successes.
Today, the Russians have resumed assault operations in our direction, trying to put pressure in the direction of Chasiv Yar. 2 infantry fighting vehicles and up to 20 Russians were destroyed. The work continues.
We are waiting to see how events unfold further, but everyone already understands that with each intensity of combat operations, sooner or later the occupiers will reach Chasiv Yar. Therefore, all possible reinforcements are already being prepared there to hold the defense of the city. In the Avdiivka direction, the situation remains dire. So the occupiers are advancing with tremendous force towards Berdichi, Orlivka and Tunenka. However, the Ukrainian forces repel numerous Russian attacks, and the front line remains unchanged within a day. So the intensity of the fighting is very high. Within a day, the Russians have already conducted 20 attacks. And for the 3rd consecutive day, they continue to claim that they have driven the Ukrainian forces out of Orlivka. And in the rest of the populated areas, they have almost complete control.
North of Avdiivka, Russian troops continue their offensive, overcoming the enemy's first line of defense. In the course of a fierce battle, the northern outskirts of Orlovka came under the full control of the Russian armed forces, and the remnants of the armed forces of Ukraine retreated towards Umansky. Black Small Square. At the same time, the armed forces of Ukraine continue shelling the frontline settlements of the DPR. As a result of a strike from the HIMARS MLRS on the mineral water plant in the village of Krasnoy, 2 workers were killed, another was taken to the hospital.
As you can see, this information hasn't been confirmed for several days now. So it seems that the Russians are aiming for quick victories, but once again, the Ukrainian armed forces are thwarting their plans. And it wasn't in vain that Syrsky visited the Avdiivka direction and provided necessary instructions. Additionally, battles continue for Prvomaiske and Nevelske. However, as before, the Russians have no success here, and the front line remains unchanged within a day. In the Marinka direction, the occupiers persist in storming the outskirts of Krasnohorivka, Georgievka, and Novomikhailivka. They also attempt to expand their controlled territory in the area of the village of Pobeda. However, all their efforts are in vain. The Ukrainian armed forces repel all attacks, and the front line remains unchanged within a day. Although the Russians have conducted 25 attacks already, and the battles continue almost without interruption. In the Vuhledar direction, after yesterday's lull, battles have resumed. So the occupiers in the fields near Staromayorsky aim to expand the controlled territory and also attempt to advance towards Zolota Niva. Shelling continues along the entire front line, but they have no success, and the line of contact remains unchanged. So we are waiting to see how the latest battles will unfold. In the Zaporizhia direction, the occupiers failed to capture Robotine, and today another round of regrouping has begun. Practically every regrouping indicates that the Ukrainian armed forces successfully destroyed a large number of Russians, and now they are bringing in new reserves. Meanwhile, shelling of the nearby frontline settlements continues, and within a day, the front line remains unchanged. In the Kherson direction, the occupiers continue to shell the right bank, and there have been no reports of new assault operations in the area of the village of Krinki. However, the Ukrainian armed forces continue to face constant fire on the left bank. So today, the first details emerged about yesterday's strikes on Crimea.
Explosions thundered in Crimea, Russian base near Simferopol, hit social networks. Explosions were heard in the area of Sak, Yevpatoria and Gvardiisk in the Crimea seized by the aggressor Russia. The SMM reported an attack on the occupiers' military base in Gvardiisk, Simferopol district. Propagandists reported that the Crimean Bridge and the Dzankoy checkpoint were blocked. Smoke is also recorded over the bay in Sevastopol.
It is also reported that 3 Ka-52 helicopters have been destroyed, and the condition of one fighter jet is being clarified. So overall, the strikes hit their targets accurately, although some missiles were intercepted. And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.